Dr. Josh, Wookie Hawkins, for Sports 1080, man. How you doing today?
Been better.
Right. Hey, listen, man, you was a dog out there. And like I said, your performance definitely put the world on notice to put that respect on your name. Just give us your overall assessment of last night.
I mean, we didn't do enough to win a football game. Obviously, we're pretty hurt in this building today. You know, we wish we were getting ready for another game. You know, but at the end of the day, it wasn't meant to be, and we'll use this as knowledge as we go forward, and use this as experience, and let this fuel the fire.
Absolutely, man. And each year you are getting better and better and better. What have you learned about yourself year 4 that your first 3 years didn't teach you?
Again, just new situations within games, trusting the guys around you, continuing to evolve in my knowledge and understanding of what defenses are trying to do and what they're going to do against me. And just finding ways to get better each and every offseason, and working with Jordan out there in California, and just trying to hone in on all my mechanics and do everything I can to be the best quarterback and teammate I can be for this team.
Absolutely, man. In closing, how will yesterday's defeat challenge you to become better next season?
And again, the goal is to win a Super Bowl, and the mentality is Super Bowl or bust every year that we play. That's the mentality that we have here. And again, you're not going to be happy every year, but we got to find a way to break that barrier and bring one home here to Buffalo.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure each year to watch your development, watch your growth, and, more in particular, just to watch how you play the game. Just have a great off season, and, good luck to you. And I can't wait to see what year 5 have for you, big dog.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, it's Kim Jones. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I got you, Kim. Good to see you.
Great to see you as always. What is it like to have 13 seconds change your entire season of God knows how many snaps and a whole bunch of wins and a whole bunch of good, and 13 seconds changes everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. We can sit here and play the what if game, but there's no saying, we do what everybody's saying that we should have done, and they have a chance for a Hail Mary, and who knows if they catch that or not. It's you can't play that game. So, you live and die by the sword. And I love our teammates. I love our coaching staff. And unfortunately it's probably gonna be the last time that, every guy in this building is gonna be here. So it's a tough day. We understand that. But again, as to next year, we got to find a way to move forward. And like I said, do whatever it takes to bring one home here to Buffalo.
If I could just follow up about Gabe Davis, how was he able to almost at times take over that game? And I have to think, Josh, that heartens you going forward. I mean, he will certainly be a teammate of yours again next year, and it certainly looks like big things are ahead for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that always does the right things. Coming in, it doesn't feel real that he's only a second-year guy in the league. Like, feels like he's been here so much longer than that. But for him to do that yesterday was unbelievable. And at the start of the season, he was begging for more opportunities. And I just told him to stay the course, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't complain, he didn't pout, he didn't give up. He just put his head down and worked his ass off. And when you have guys that do the right things and continue to show up and do what's necessary for team success, i.e. blocking, going down and taking the edge off, and going inside and getting a linebacker or a safety, like guys that just do the right thing and they don't complain. Or again, that's typically what you're gonna get. You're gonna have your opportunities and you're gonna make them, because that's what type of player you are, and this is what type of player he is.
Josh, thank you so much for your professionalism. I appreciate that more than you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hey, Josh, Sean Worrell.
Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm good. In knowing the competitor that you are, but also knowing where you've come from and how far you've come, is there any solace in this difficult time to know that you solidified your place on the national stage as among the NFL's best quarterbacks, with the season that you've had and the performance that you put forward, you and the offense put forward last night?
I mean, at the end of the day, we had some opportunities early in the game that could have helped us out. Maybe could have changed the game, but again, that what if game is not a game I like to play. We didn't do enough to win a game, and that's what it came down to. And but again, I'm proud of our guys being down 9 points in that second half to one of the best teams in the league. They've been to four straight conference championship games, 2 straight Super Bowls. And for us to go out there and compete the way we did and battle through some adversity, it felt good. And again, I'm proud of our teammates for how we played.
I know you addressed this last night, but is it almost unfair? I know it's the rules, but when it comes to the overtime rules, and especially with the gravity of the situation in the playoffs, does it seem unfair that a game could be decided based on a simple coin toss, especially given this time of year?
I mean, it is what it is. If you go back a few years ago, the Chiefs lost in a very similar situation to the Patriots, and I think the next year, those Chiefs went on to win the Super Bowl. So, and that aspect, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it is what it is. I'm not one to try to change rules or complain about the rules. They are what they are. So yeah.
Lastly, and I'm sorry here because I know a lot of people have questions, but can you pinpoint any of the reason that this team had difficulty winning one-score games this year as opposed to last year when you guys were 6-1?
Sometimes that's just the way the dice rolls in the game of football. The opposing teams, they get paid too, but we know that's an area we have to be better in. And I look forward to that challenge this offseason of whether it be a mental or physical type of change that we can make as a football team and find a way to win those games, because we're going to need them. And again, we won a couple of those games. Maybe the games at at Buffalo, things are different. So that there's the importance of having home games and having the momentum and having crowd noise and all that stuff. So just a lot of knowledge that we can take from this experience that I think is going to pay off in the long run.
Thanks so much, Josh. And I've really appreciated your candor this season, and all the best to you in the off season.
Thank you, War. Appreciate you.
Hey, Josh, knowing how you guys ended the season here and knowing that you still have a lot of pieces in place for next season and the knowledge that you're going to be able to gain from this game, what's in store for the offense next season?
I mean, again, every season's different. The type of players we have are different. I'm not sure that's not my job, but I know that we got guys that love each other in this locker room and are going to compete for each other. And again, whatever happens in the coaching carousel of the NFL, I think teams would be foolish not to offer Brian Daboll a job. I'm praying they don't, because I want him back here. But I love him and his family too much to really think that. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, and I think whatever team gets him is going to be lucky. But whoever, like I said, whatever is in this building, I know we're going to go out and compete for each other.
And then you yourself, what did you prove as a quarterback in this league this season?
It's not really up for me to decide that question, I guess. I'm just trying to be the best quarterback and teammate I can be for the Buffalo Bills.
Thanks, Josh. Enjoy the offseason.
Thank you, Maddie.
Hey, Josh, it's Catherine from the Buffalo News. You mentioned last night how you guys don't like feeling like that, especially back-to-back years at the same place. Just given some of the similarities of last year and this year, what stood out to you besides the result as similar and different about the ways the year ended?
Well, I mean, again, we went toe to toe with them. I think if you look at the game last year compared to this year, I mean, again, people say it was decided by a coin flip. So I think we're extremely close to where we want to be. And obviously we want to execute better, and we want to win that game. But in terms to know that this whole offseason really was geared towards trying to beat the Chiefs, and again, they've been the sustained success the last few years, and that's what you want to be, and that's what your franchise wants to be. So again, we're close, but close doesn't cut it, and we understand that. So we got to figure out a way, like I said, to break that barrier and to move on and advance and give ourselves a chance to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
When you mentioned that so much of the offseason was geared around the Chiefs in particular, did it feel like it made a difference what round you faced them in, or was it just about like, this is the team we know we need to beat?
Yeah, I think everybody knows that's the team they need to beat. And again, you look at the track record over the last few years of who's been playing in what games, and they've been there. They've been in the AFC Championship. They've been in the Super Bowl twice. So every year you go into that knowing that you're probably going to see them at one point or another in the playoffs. So again, it's probably going to be the same thought for next year. So we got to, like I said, whether this offseason, training camp, all that stuff, we gotta find a way to be the best versions of ourselves. And I got no doubt that this team is willing and capable of doing that.
And then one more, and really appreciate your time. Quite a few guys on this season saw bigger roles towards the end of the year, or just had breakout seasons in general. But where do you feel this offense as a whole evolved the most this season?
I mean, I think if you look at the last really 4.5, 5.5 games that we played after that first half in Tampa Bay, the resiliency of this team, the camaraderie, the communication that we had with each other, the trust that we had in each other. It was a really, really fun group to be a part of, and I'm proud of our guys for going out there and competing the way they did. Our offensive line, motor, you see all Gabe and Dawson have really good years as young players, and that's extremely promising for the future. And again, you bring back pieces that we have right now. It's you can't help but get excited for the future. And I know it seems pretty bleak right now, but I'm eager. And it sucks that the season's over, but I'm excited for what this team is capable of, and we got to be willing to go out there and work hard and have a great off season, and try to get this thing going on next year.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate your insight.
Thank you, Catherine.
Hi, Josh. It's Jay with the Buffalo News. Do you feel like you're ending this season, and particularly what you did in the postseason, maybe playing the best football of your career right now?
Yeah. I mean, I just seeing things really well, but again, it takes 11 guys on that football field. So those 5 guys up front blocked extremely well over the last, like I said, 5 weeks. Our guys made some unbelievable plays and catches. We got the running game going. We were a very, very efficient group. And like I said, it was a fun group to be a part of. And, we were playing good ball as a collective unit.
What's that do for your confidence when that's happening?
I mean, there's just times where you feel comfortable in the pocket and you throw a ball, and at times you feel like you can't miss because guys are getting open and catching the ball and making some great catches. And, we can learn from that and use that momentum going forward. And I've got no doubt that we will.
You talked earlier about Brian. He's the only offensive coordinator you've known in the NFL. I know how close your relationship is with him. And it extends much beyond what you guys are doing in the facility, and, true friendship. Of course you will be happy for him, but that could represent a major change in your career if he were to move on, for a head job. How much have you processed that and what it potentially could mean for you in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a thought that I had last year that he was going to get a job, and that didn't happen. I'm extremely fortunate that he came back. But again, I really haven't looked all into it all that much, but again, I believe in the guys in this locker room as well, and that we're willing to do whatever it takes to whether it's learning a new system or, using the same system with obviously a new coach. We have to band together, and it's more about the Jimmy and Joes and the X's and O's. And, like I said, I trust the guys in this locker room.
Thanks, Josh. Lastly, for me, you mentioned Motor briefly there, but the way that the run game the last 5-6 weeks of the season really complemented what you're able to do throwing the ball. How big of a step forward was that for this offense overall, and how much can you build on that going into next season, knowing that, Devin really solidified himself, and then what you can do on the ground and just that whole element of the rushing attack?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can get kind of tricky in that run game, I think it helps, with some eye candies, some jets, some different guys in the backfield, some quarterback runs. I just think what that does to a defense keeps them on their heels. We saw on third down yesterday that they were kind of doubling Steph, and we had opportunities in the quarterback run game. And when we started getting some success in that, it opened up some other stuff on third down. So, again, it just makes you think about multiple scenarios. And again, I'm happy to utilize that going forward.
Thanks a lot for your time, Josh. Enjoy the offseason.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, first going off Jay's question, I know this is hypothetical, but we won't talk to you if this was to happen. If Brian did leave, would you be interested in having any involvement in an offensive coordinator search, or is that something you'd like to have any insight into, or how do you kind of view that?
I mean, I think every quarterback would love to be a part of that process. And I do know there's a guy in this building that I'm a huge advocate for. And, again, it's not my job. It's not my decision to make that. But again, I trust the guys in this locker room. I trust the coaches on this staff, and, whoever it may be, again, it's not up to me, but I think as a quarterback, as a competitor, you definitely want to feel like you have some sort of say in it. But again, whether it's taken or not, it's not up to me.
And assuming you're referring to Ken Dorsey there, what has he meant for you, and how important has he been to your success, do you think?
I mean, I think when he got here 3 years ago, I think my career definitely changed in terms of how I viewed the game of football. Just having a guy in the quarterback room that played the game, is the winningest college quarterback of all time, 38-2. Will never let me forget that. He says it all the time. But just the way that he approaches the game, he's competitive. He's smart. He works his ass off, and I appreciate what he's done for me over the course of my career so far. And again, wherever the chips fall, that's where they fall. And we'll learn to live with it and deal with it and move on.
And then last one from me, Dawson talked to us earlier, and obviously it's been mentioned a lot, the second half of that Tampa Bay game, a lot got going with the offense and all that sort of thing. How, going forward, do you make sure that the offense gets going earlier in the season and it doesn't take until that point for it to feel like, oh, we're really clicking now? Like, how do you get that going sooner?
I mean, I think it's just understanding what type of team you are, the type of players that you have. We demand a lot from our players because we know that they're capable of doing a lot. So I think early on, maybe having some more urgency, whether it be in practice or training camp, and just making sure we're focused at the task at hand. And, I can do a better job of that early on in the season.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it.
Thank you.